Hello and welcome back to Total Extreme Morrow. We're the best book wrestling. Last week was a banger show. We bought out LDN. We had our first show, All's Well That Ends Well. Didn't end well for LDN. Didn't end well for Ashton Smith and Rampage Brown, who lost the LDN tag team titles to Noonan and Frehill. Rob Elias defeated Kingslayer J. He also strangely shouted out Edward Stewart Tate. Edward Stewart Tate claimed power of the promotion, that his name was on the contract. Back in Dublin then, at Rumble on the River Nore, which doesn't run through Dublin. Chainsaw beat John McCann to retain the World Heavyweight title, and Chainsaw cut a promo on Shane O'Keefe, our recently retired Frankie Vendetta now commentator. Chainsaw being uber aggressive in his matches. We also had Kota Ibushi in, and Kota has agreed to come back for one more match because he wants to work in London before his impending retirement very, very soon. So he's going to work our London show this month in his last ever London England match. So he's had what might have been his only ever Irish match as part of his retirement tour. Beats Nate Murphy forever. Bea Priestly retains the women's world heavyweight title. Hopefully Bea Priestly and Nixon Newell are no longer rusty. For today in our London LDN x WFWS show, we got Bea Priestly versus Laura Di Matteo for the women's heavyweight title. Matthew Bullet Smyth versus Kota Ibushi in Ibushi's last ever match in England. Morgan Webster will take on Cara Noir. Noonan and Frehill will give Ashton Smith and Rampage Brown a rematch for their tag titles. Rob Elias will take on Chuck Mambo in the main event for the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship. And Sammy D will take on Callum Black. Then in Big City Meltdown, no longer called Marble City Meltdown because we'll be running this once again in Dublin. We got BDE versus the Bosch Bros. Chainsaw Luke Frehill will defend the World Heavyweight title against A-Kid. Damien Corvin and Michael May will take on Bullet Jack Morris will take on the Sem. Actually, I'm going to move that to London because Jack Morris is working Noah. Bullet Smyth versus Nate Murphy forever, and Raven Creed versus Nixon Newell. Okay, we have also upgraded our production. Production values now has gone to level 2, broadcast quality to level 2, and music to level 2. That has allowed us to move our broadcasting over to Pro Wrestling TV. Pro Wrestling TV. These are all the ones who were willing to negotiate with us now that we've upgraded our production. So I went to Pro Wrestling TV. They also do OTT, Eve, and Head to Head Wrestling Incorporated. And the reason being is I think they get more numbers than YouTube. So if we have a look here at show history again. So we had 1,600 viewers on YouTube last month. If we go to a more recent OTT show, who are technically smaller than us now because of our new popularity all over the UK. If we go to their last show, Scrapper, they get 3,800 on Pro Wrestling TV. So, yeah, we've decided to move over to Pro Wrestling TV. Let's get into our first show in London. Just going to make sure here now that the time, I'm going to make this 2 hours. So we've got a lot on it. I'm just going to make sure I'm right about that Jake Morris match. Yes, Jack Morris. Yes. So he's not available Saturday, but he is available Friday. So we'll have his match versus the Sem in London. Let's get into it. Okay, huge show lined up. Running over 2 hours, our longest show to date. So the booking committee currently is myself and Frankie Vendetta, aka Shane O'Keefe, our commentator, recently retired wrestler. So we are going to maybe expand their booking team, add one more. I'm going to look at the roster, see who has some booking credentials and add them to the team. Now that we're running 2 shows a month, it'll be nice for me and Shane to have someone additional to bounce some ideas off. So we open the show with an Edward Stewart Tate. We've sold out the O2 Academy in Oxford, 750 people in attendance. That is a sellout, so that's a great start. This London thing is going to be real good for us financially. Edward Stewart Tate cuts promo again, retorting All Elite Morrow's claim last month that it isn't Edward Stewart Tate's name on the contract, that Edward Stewart Tate is solely the owner of LDN Wrestling. He also gives a gushing review of Rob Leas, the current LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight Champion, who will be defending in the main event tonight versus Chuck Mambo. Jack Morris beats the Sem here in 6 minutes. Decent match. Sem wasn't great here. He was really off his game. I wanted to do this match in Ireland because the Sem's has more popularity in Ireland, and he would have performed better there, but obviously Jack wasn't available. Sammy D beats Callum Black. Sammy D back on a winning streak ever since his loss to Dara at the Battle of KK in January. He has won all his matches, I think, in that time. Beats Callum Black in 10 minutes. Morgan Webster beats Cara Noir. Very good match, 55 rated match. Morgan Webster was excellent here. Cara Noir was decent. Bea Priestly, still rusty, Jesus. She's had like 4 or 5 matches now. But she beats Laura Di Matteo in 15 minutes. Get her in there, a good lot of ring time. That'll be good for knocking off that ring rust. Send her a few more matches under her belt. She had about 4 or 5. Anyway, defense number 2 of the... She had 4 matches for us. Women's World Heavyweight title. She cuts a promo saying, "Where's Raven Creed? She's waiting for her in London, in her home country." Is Raven Creed too afraid to travel to London to take on Bea Priestly? If Raven Creed wants her rematch, it will not be in Ireland on Raven Creed's home country. It will be here in London. Is she English or Australian? Match Bullet Smyth defeats Kota Ibushi in an excellent match in 15 minutes. This match was first match for us. He wasn't on in London. He wasn't on the LDN All's Well That Ends Well show last month. But he defeats Kota Ibushi. 2 wonderful performances, 58 and a 53. Pity for Ibushi's return. But Matthew Bullet Smyth defeats him in 15 minutes, 29 seconds with a coup de grace. After the match, strangely, Matthew Bullet Smyth raises Kota Ibushi's hand and gets the audience to clap the legend Booty Bushi. Kota Booty Ibushi, sucks in the adulation of the London crowd for his last ever match in the UK. Guy who has wrestled there several times for New Japan and a various assortment of independent promotions, bows out here on a loss to Matthew Bullet Smyth. Noonan and Frehill beat Ashton Smith and Rampage Brown in the rematch. Noonan, improvement on last month, I think. Frehill, decent again. Rampage Brown was excellent. Ashton Smith, decent. Again, in this match, Chainsaw Luke Frehill is insanely aggressive, as is Keane Noonan, in attacking limbs and body parts of Ashton Smith and Rampage Brown. Defense number 1 of the LDN tag team titles for Noonan and Frehill. And in an excellent as well main event, Rob Leas defeats Chuck Mambo in 15 minutes via pinfall. Rob Leas makes defense number 3 of the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight title, really cementing himself as the top guy on the LDN side of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling show. Chuck Mambo, decent here. Very, very good Chuck Mambo. And Rob Leas, very good as well. And after the match, why did I have Carnamara as a road agent for that? Edward Stewart Tate cuts a promo in the ring, congratulating Rob Leas and giving him a card for the Tate Estate, a business card. Rob Leas looks very interested in said business card and shakes Edward Stewart Tate's hand. And that brings an end to this show. Overall, 58, excellent show. So this TV deal could be working out on Pro Wrestling TV. Let's see if we can... Oh, no, we won't get the viewers till tomorrow. Who was really good in this? So, well, obviously, who did we do last month? Kota Ibushi. We won't do him again. Who do we want to give shout-outs to? Who was excellent on this show? Been a while since we done Bullet Smyth. And Morgan Webster was great on this show as well. Let's praise the two of them. Financial report, overall profit of 43. We spent a lot on workers. Holy moly. We spent 4,000. That's the most we've ever spent on workers. We got broadcast revenue though. So we're making money off the TV deal. We got 1,000 of broadcast revenue. So we took in over 8,000 and we spent just about 8,000. So, taking over, we took in well over 8,000. We spent a little more than 8,000. We'll look at cutting those worker costs. Our finances are looking great, by the way. We will lose money tomorrow night on the Irish show, but especially now that our show costs are going up because we're spending more on we're spending more on our production, so our show costs are going to be higher. So maybe a lot of these, the Ashton Smiths, Rampage Browns, Chuck Mambos, Rob Leas, we carried over their contracts from Morgan Webster as well. We carried over their contracts from LDN and they were getting paid an absurd amount of money. No wonder LDN were looking to sell. So I'm going to look to cut Rampage Brown and Ashton Smith. I might bring him back for one more match against a tag team of our roster, just to get that tag team popularity in London, in England. But yeah, they're just costing too much. Those guys are getting like 600-700 a show. So between Morgan Webster, Rob Leas, Ashton Smith, Rampage Brown, those four are all getting paid over 500 each. So they're probably taking up close to half our workers' costs, and they're not good enough to be getting paid that much. Popularity increases, it's almost across the board, everywhere bar Scotland. So this TV deal is certainly working out for us as well, the new TV deal. If you see there, we now have some popularity in the US and also in mainland Europe. So we've gotten spillover into those regions. So amazing. So we get 10% of our average popularity spills over into Europe, and 5% of our average popularity spills over into the US. So this is going to be great again for sponsorship. Okay, let's go to the Irish show tomorrow night, the Big City Meltdown. Okay, real quick before we go into the Dublin show, we had 8,477 viewers on Pro Wrestling TV. 8,477. If we go to our top 100s, where's that? It's in here somewhere. Here it is. And we go to top 100 viewerships. That is almost 7,000 more than our previous highest viewership. So that is going to absolutely spike our sponsorships again. If we look at finances, we're up 7,000 on the month. We're only 4,000 in debt. We're going to clear that very, very soon. We are going to lose money on the Irish show tonight, so we'll go back to probably being minus 6,000 or so. But we're looking at taking in over 12,500 on sponsorship this month alone. So we're in a good place. But yeah, now let's get into the Irish show. So we're actually in Dolan's warehouse in Limerick. an hour and a half show. Huge show. Main evented Chainsaw Luke Frehill versus A-Kid for the title. Show opens with all 361 people in Dolan's Warehouse. I think it has a capacity of 400. Decent crowd. All Elite Morrow again cuts a promo on Edward Stewart Tate with regards to Edward Stewart Tate's claim of ownership on LDN. All Elite Morrow says he will be in London next month to meet Edward Stewart Tate face to face in front of the fans. Not in a match. It won't be a match. Raven Creed beats Nixon Newell. Nixon Newell is no longer rusty, and she was fucking awesome. 50 performance. This is an excellent opening match. Excellent opening match. Raven Creed cuts a promo after the match on Bea Priestly. Raven Creed says she will come to London. She will face Bea Priestly for the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show Women's World Heavyweight title. She'll face her anytime, anywhere. Badass. BDE beat the Bosch Bros in a very good match. Big Beamish isn't getting the same work that Young Jay is, so he isn't progressing at the rate that Young Jay is. So we need to get as much matches into Big Beamish as possible. I want to push the Bosch Bros. But a good win for BDE here in 10 minutes over the Bosch Bros. The Tate Estate defend their tag team titles. Corvin and May beat Bullet in another excellent match. The real standouts here are Corvin and CBL, but decent performances as well from Michael, May and Gallicini. And then Frankie Vendetta. This is our first time ever doing a pre-record. Now, since we've upped our production values, we're doing pre-record. So Shane O'Keefe has gone to visit Dara at his home and conduct an interview. Shane O'Keefe interviews Dara about the rib injuries, the body injury, and the ankle injury he picked up at the hands of a Chainsaw Luke Frehill. Dara says he was shocked that his old friend Luke would target a known injury to the extent he did. He said, this is pro wrestling. This is a tough sport. But when you go out there to deliberately try and injure your competition instead of just beat them, that's where Dara draws the line. And he's surprised that his old friend used knowledge of Dara's injury to target that so viciously. Matthew Bullet Smyth beats Nathan Murphy in an incredible match. Again, anything around this low to mid 60s are incredible matches. Bullet with a 72, unbelievable. Nathan Murphy, not great here, not his best performance. So this match really was, in some ways, carried to this level by Bullet. It would have been a good match regardless. Superb wrestling and great heat. Matthew Bullet Smyth beats Nathan Murphy forever in just under 12 minutes. Pinfall again with the coup de grace. Sick match. I think our best match ever is 64, 65. So this is right up there in that area. And after the match, the Tate Estate of Damien Corvin, Michael May and Nathan Murphy forever attack Matthew Bullet Smyth. We know Tate himself is a huge fan of Matthew Bullet Smyth. What is going on here? The Tate Estate, after Bullet beats Nathan Murphy forever, the Tate Estate hit the ring, attack Matthew Bullet Smyth, leave him laying in the ring after his victory over Nathan Murphy forever. A vicious attack from Corvin, May and Murphy. In another excellent main event here, Chainsaw Luke Frehill with a 55, A-Kid with a 56 performance, overall match rating of 59, an exceptional match. Chainsaw Luke Frehill defeats A-Kid by submission with the ankle lock, again going relentlessly after A-Kid, and even after A-Kid submits, the ref has to pull Chainsaw, Mr. Jacobs, the referee, has to pull Chainsaw Luke Frehill off A-Kid's ankle to avoid any further injury. And after the match, Chainsaw and Keen Noonan go to Frankie on commentary, and Frankie's here with the headset on. They knock the headset off Shane O'Keefe on commentary, the former Frankie Vendetta, FKA Frankie Vendetta. They knock the headset off Frankie's head, kind of like this, look. kind of like this. He's there, Frankie's there. Oh, that's what you doing? What you doing? So they knocked the headset off Frankie, off Shane, and this is an exceptional angle. They knocked the headset off Shane, and they're just shouting at him about the bullshit that he's gone on about on commentary. And Chainsaw saying to him, if you had the same, if you were built the same as me, you wouldn't have lost this title in your first defense. You would have been a long-standing champion, but you'd never had what it takes to be me, essentially, to be someone like Chainsaw Luke Frehill. And Keane Noonan is there mean mugging and laughing at Shane O'Keefe in the background as we go off the air. Very, very surprising actions from what was once known as the Kilkenny Von Erich, Luke Frehill. Not so surprising from Keane Noonan. He's always had this kind of little streak in him from when he came into the promotion. Nate Murphy Forever was used too much on the show. I don't think he was. Excellent show overall. Let's see how this one performed. We're going to say well done to Young Jay. We're going to say well done to who else was great on this show? Nixon Newell was great. I'm going to praise the two of those. Nixon Newell, financial report. We only lost 400 on the show. Look like our workers' costs there when we don't have all those English guys in. It was only 1,800. Show costs $3,000. Took in 800 in merchandise, 800 in broadcast revenue, and just under 3,000 in ticket sales. So we only lost 400 on the show. I honestly thought we'd lose more. We've increased again our popularity in Ireland, and then you can see the other ones are yellow. That means we've made some gains, but not a full number of gain in Midlands, Northern England, Scotland, and Wales. I reckon Scotland will jump up next month. So yeah, looking good, looking real good. What I would like to check is if there's anybody on our roster with some booking skill. Anyone who has some booking skill, we might look at adding them to the booking team with myself and Shane O'Keefe. So I think with 2 shows a month now, it would be nice to have someone else to bounce ideas off. For this episode, I'm looking at doing on. I think we're going to start in terms of movement through time, advancing a lot slower, because I want to continue to do 6 shows per episode. Book 6 shows per episode. But that'll only take us, before that was going through 6 months in game, or when we were doing Wales, we were doing one of them every second or every third month. But now we're going to be doing London once a month for the foreseeable future until we do a TV deal for weekly television. We're going to run 1 show per month in Ireland, 1 show per month probably in London. I think that's the most financially sound one. So that will mean we're basically only booking 3 months per episode of Total Extreme Morrow. Big City Meltdown, 9,000 viewers. Over 9,000 viewers. Holy moly. Yeah, amazing. Oh, Big Beamish has won. Well, let's negotiate a new contract. Big Beamish, she's one appearance from Renan. We want to keep him around. We're going to put him on a written contract. He can work for others. We're going to see if he'll take $40 per show for 2 years. So we'll see how that works out. Right, let's go to our booking team. Alter booking team. So Paul Tracy has booking skill of 30. Does anyone else? So min booking skill 1. Booking team. No, so he's the only one who's kind of viable. Yeah, so we'll add to team Paul Tracy. Sean Guinness is happy about it. So he's on the team. He will add 30. So Frankie Vendetta is adding 43. I'm adding 52. Okay, so our booking team is going to be Frankie Vendetta, Paul Tracy, and All Elite Morrow. Frankie's booking skill has gone up by 3. Mine has gone up by 2. Okay, that's looking good. Looking good. Okay, let's come back next month for our 2 shows. What do we have? We're going to have one of these London shows, maybe Night of Mayhem. And then St. Canice's Clash. We'll probably have to change the name of that show because it most likely won't be in Kilkenny. Might be back in Dolan's warehouse. Right, so we're back for what shows are we doing? What are they called? I changed the names. I'm going to have to change St. Canice's Clash because it's going to take place in Limerick. Who is the patron saint of Limerick? It better sound cool with Clash. Who is the patron saint of Limerick? Saint Munchin. Saint Munchin's Melee. Let's do it. Saint Munchin's Melee. Wait, how does he spell Munchins? This is top class content. Munchin. Saint Munchin's Melee. Yes. Look at that. So we have WFWS LDN Invasion taking place tonight, the Friday night. And tomorrow night we have St. Munchin's Melee taking place in Dolan's warehouse in Limerick. My screens are doing weird things. They're jumping outside the frame. So they are the two shows for this weekend. It's not Charlie Sterling versus Luke Frehill this year. Just an update. Luke has been a champion now. He's our longest ever reigning champion. No, that's not the... He is at 398 days. His title match at St. Munchin's Melee versus CBL will be on exactly the 400th day of his reign. In terms of the London show, we've got BDE versus Rampage Brown and Ashton Smith, Jack Morris versus Spike Trevette, MBS versus Chuck Mambo, Nixon Newell versus Zia Brookside, Raven Creed versus Bea Priestly, huge match there, Rob Lias versus Morgan Webster, and Team White Wolf versus Noonan and Frehill. This one is subject to change. Noonan and Frehill will be on the card regardless. I'm waiting on a last minute call from A-Kid. We're not 100% sure A-Kid will be with us tonight. We're also not 100% sure he won't be with us. So this is a match we want to do in London. If not, we're going to bring in two English-based wrestlers to take on Noonan and Frehill. The big news here, though, is we are a profitable wrestling company. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So profitable, in fact, I bought myself a pair of Armani sunglasses, which you've been watching me use for about a year on the podcast. But we're a profitable wrestling company. Treating myself to a large latte. Look at that. Just in June of last year, 12 months ago, we were 20,000 in debt. Taxman is knocking. 440. 440 we paid in tax last month. I think these motherfuckers are charging us at 23% rate. We're technically providing a service. We're not selling a product. We're providing a service. We should be 13.5%. Anyway, less on the tax laws, more on professional wrestling. The card for tonight is Rob Lias versus Morgan Webster for the Triple Crown title in the main event. Raven Creed versus Bea Priestly in the co-main for the women's World Heavyweight title. Team White Wolf versus Noonan and Frehill, so that's going ahead. We got A-Kid cleared at the very last minute after the injuries he picked up against Chainsaw last month. Promo with Bullet Smyth and Edward Stewart Tate. Bullet Smyth will take on Chuck Mambo. Nixon Newell versus Zia Brookside. BDE versus Rampage Brown and Ashton Smith. Jack Morris versus Spike Trevette. So we opened the show with Edward Stewart Tate, who is instantly, we have a sellout as well in the O2 Academy in Islington of 800 people. I'm gonna have to start running bigger venues. I don't know what we could draw here. It's over 800 anyway. All Elite Morrow instantly interrupts Edward Stewart Tate. He tells Edward Stewart Tate to check his contract. He is not listed for commentary tonight. that Jetta will be doing commentary, and we'll go through her after the show. I found her as an amazing colour commentator. Edward Stewart Tate is off the call for tonight's show. He will not be on commentary. Edward Stewart Tate has a bit of a hissy fit meltdown. This is my company. So these two are really starting to wrangle over who's in charge here. Jack Morris, 4-minute squash match, beats Spike Trevette. We brought in Spike Trevette for the Welsh shows. He still had one match remaining on his contract with us. So we just put him in here to get squashed by Jack Morris, who is just on a string of kind of semi-competitive squash matches. BDE defeat Ashton Smith and Rampage Brown when Big Bad Dirty Nikki picks up the pin. Nikki and Josh are normally in the 40s when we're in Ireland because their popularity is higher. We want to get, because Ashton Smith and Rampage Brown have a lot of popularity, we want to try and transfer that over to BDE before we cycle Rampage and Ashton out of the company. They cost way too much money. Good match though. Nixon Newell and Zia Brookside don't click, and it made for an awkward bout. Nixon Newell had a fantastic performance in her last singles match. She's not rusty anymore. This is okay. 42 is fine. It's not great, but the fact they don't have good chemistry hurt the match. Nixon Newell defeats Zia Brookside in 8.5 minutes with the shiniest wizard. Matthew Bullet Smith beats Chuck Mambo in a very, very good match, 755. We seem to be struggling to hit 60 rated matches here. Like Bullet there is performing at a 51. When we have him in Ireland, he's up towards 70, so we need to get his popularity up because we know the level of performances we can get when he has the crowd connection. With a huge win over Chuck Mambo. Again, this is a thing of transferring popularity from the old members of the LDN roster onto the guys we're pushing from our own roster, and that's a big win for Matthew Bullet Smith. Edward Stewart Tate comes out to speak to Matthew Bullet Smith after the actions of the Tate Estate in attacking Bullet after the Nate Murphy match last month. Edward Stewart Tate says that was not sanctioned by him. The attack wasn't sanctioned by Edward Stewart Tate. He had nothing got to do with it. He apologised to Matthew Bullet Smith, and he said as a make good for Matthew Bullet Smith that he can have a title shot versus Rob Lias next month here in London for the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship. He said on the condition that there are no repercussions towards Edward or the Tate Estate for last month's attack. Matthew Bullet Smith takes his business card and shakes Edward Stewart Tate's hand and accepts the match on condition that Rob Lias wins and on condition that there's no repercussions for the Tate Estate. Matthew Bullet Smith accepts those conditions, shakes Edward Stewart Tate's hand and leaves with Edward Stewart Tate. Very good match again. Here the tag match, White Wolf versus Noonan and Frehill, and Noonan and Frehill pick up the win. Frehill submits Carlos Romo with an ankle lock, and again we're getting Frankie Vendetta and Shane O'Keefe on commentary talking about the aggression from Frehill and Noonan. Defence number 2 of the LDN tag team titles. Let's see, Keane Noonan's up to 40s in England. That's good because his first 2 matches there he was kind of low to mid 30s, so he is gaining popularity in the English market. Chainsaw's up to 57s. A-Kid and Carlos Romo both in the 50s. A very, very good match. Raven Creed and Bea Priestly have a banger. I think they'd have had a better match in Ireland with the crowd. Very good match. But Bea Priestly defeats Raven Creed once again. She beat her for the title and she's now beat her in the rematch. It's going to be a long way back to the title for Raven Creed. Bea Priestly makes defence number 3 of the Women's World Heavyweight title. And Rob Lias defeats Morgan Webster in just under 16 minutes. Defence number 4 of the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight title. A 57 rated match. That means Rob Lias will defend here next month in the main event versus Matthew Bullet Smith. After the match, Edward Stewart Tate celebrates with Rob Lias in the ring, announces him as the newest member of the Tate Estate. All Elite Morrow comes out and says, yes, Edward, we do agree on one thing. Matthew Bullet Smith will face Rob Lias for the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight title here in London next month. However, there is one more thing. Tomorrow night in Dolan's Warehouse at St. Munchin's Melee, Matthew Bullet Smyth and Sean Maxer Guinness, the social elite, will take on the Tate Estate, Damien Corvin and Michael May for the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show's tag team titles. As All Elite Tomorrow delivers this, Matthew Bullet Smyth hits the ring from behind, out through the crowd, attacks Rob Leas, and the two of them brawl all around ringside as we go off the air. The brawl part got a fantastic rating. The speaking part between Tate and Morrow got a decent rating, fine, nothing spectacular, nothing terrible, and that's how we go off the show. Matthew Bullet Smyth and Sean Maxer Guinness versus the Tate Estate for the tag titles tomorrow night in Dolan's Warehouse. Matthew Bullet Smyth versus Rob Leas next month in London for the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight title. 58 rated show. I think every show we've done in London has been 58. We seem to be hard capped there. And we're actually in a regional battle. I'll show that afterwards in London now with other companies, Rev Pro, Pro Wrestling, Eve, and can't remember the third one, but there's 4 of us in this battle for London, or battle for Southern England. Good show though overall. Addressed the locker room. Who was great on this show? Who did we think was... There was no one that was like standout excellent. Kid was very good. Do you know what? Carlos Romo had upped his performance, shall we say. He's hitting the 50s now. So we'll praise A-Kid and Carlos Romo. Financial report. We lost 1,000 on the show. We got no broadcast revenue. Why was that? We've increased popularity in Southern England. Yeah, lost 1,000. Not too bad. We're still a profitable wrestling company. I actually meant to look at the show costs there. What did we spend on workers? I think I can check that back. Yeah, I'll be able to check it on the finance screen. What did we spend on workers? Yeah, good question. Good question. I'll eat tomorrow. Right, we'll be back tomorrow night for Limerick St. Munchin's Clash. Update, we spent 8,000 on workers for that show. 8,000. Holy shit. Okay, let's go to the St. Munchin's Melee. Added a match to this show, Team White Wolf versus the Bosch Bros. So let's get into it. We're opening with Team White Wolf versus the Bosch Bros. We let Jetta agent this match. She's a great commentator. She's not a good agent, so that hurt the match slightly. Team White Wolf defeat the Bosch Bros. A-Kid pins Big Beamish. We want to get loads of work into Big Beamish to try and... 25 is a good performance, and he was off his game. I think the last match we did with him, he was in the teens. Or no, maybe 20s as well. So we want to get him as much work as possible because we want to push this team when we get a TV contract. Win for A-Kid. Raven Creed defeats Rebecca Resner. Raven Creed was great here. Rebecca Resner was okay. We have sellout in Dolan's Warehouse for St. Munchin's Melee. Still laughing at that. Get some heat back for Raven Creed. Sammy D beats the King Slayer J by submission in 10 minutes. Segment rating of 48. Sammy D continuing his winning streak. Bea Priestly and Nixon Newell were not good here, actually. Yeah, they underperformed. They were okay, like they were 41 and 44. It's not bad. They beat Kat Von K and Anita Vaughn in a tag team match. Bea Priestly continuing her gimmick of refusing to defend the title in Ireland and only doing it in England. All Elite Morrow comes out and tells Bea Priestly she has a championship match booked for London next month against none other than Ireland's Martina is back. So Martina will be there next month to take on Bea Priestly for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Into the title match now. We're main eventing with the tag titles this month. Luke Frehill defeats CBL in just under 15 minutes with a Western Lariat. Defense number 13 of the World Heavyweight title. Unlucky for some, not for Chainsaw. Again, Chainsaw is really hinting at a future heel turn with his aggressive attack of CBL's limbs. And after the match, Chainsaw Luke Frehill and Keane Noonan take Frankie Vendetta, Shane O'Keefe, from the commentary desk, throw him into the ring, begin to attack him. And out of nowhere, well, not out of nowhere, out through the entrance ramp, Dara makes the save. Dara makes the save to help out Shane O'Keefe in the vicious attack from Chainsaw Luke Frehill and Keane Noonan. Shane will be replaced on the commentary desk for the main event by Edward Stewart Tate. So that's a full, there's no two ways of looking at it. It's a full-on heel turn from Noonan and Frehill. A full-on heel turn. They've attacked Shane O'Keefe, their old friend, a commentator, a retired wrestler, a young man in his 40s, and these two horrible little bastards attack him on the commentary desk. There's just no need for that. There's no place for that in this company. But luckily, Dara was making his return tonight. It was in the arena. He's signing a new contract, so he drove to Dublin or to Limerick to sign this contract. And he was here to help out his old friend Shane O'Keefe. It's obviously leading to something more. And the Tate Estate beat the Social Elite. And what happens here is absolutely shocking. Sean Maxer Guinness submits, throws in the towel on behalf of his team without even really being in a submission move. He just quit and handed the titles to the Tate Estate. Sean Maxer Guinness has just handed the titles to the Tate Estate. He's not even in a submission move, and he submits on behalf of his team. And Matthew Bullet Smyth doesn't know what's going on. After the match, Sean Guinness lays out Matthew Bullet Smyth and stands tall with the Tate Estate. He has turned on his long-time tag team partner and friend after costing them the match. Anytime Bullet was looking for a hot tag, Maxer was essentially unavailable. And when the time came, he turns to the ref and just says, "We quit, we submit," and then attacks Matthew Bullet Smyth after the match, lays him out, joins the Tate Estate. Absolutely shocking. Decent show overall, 58. Who do we want to... Nobody really was amazing on this show, but CBL was good. Do you know what? The retired Frankie Vendetta, Shane O'Keefe, got back in the ring and took some bumps tonight in service of getting Dara over. So we'll thank him. Financial report: we lost 2,500 on the show. We spent 5,600 on workers. A lot of that is because we're flying people in. We flew in A-Kid. We flew in Nixon Newell. We flew in Bea Priestly. Someone else. I think we flew in someone else as well. But what I'm hoping is Bea Priestly and Nixon Newell move to Ireland, because we're the only company that employs them. So I lost 2,500 on this show. Again, we got no broadcast revenue. Yeah, not to worry. Okay, I'm going to do a little recap at the end of this month, and then we'll go into next month's shows with the big Rob Elias versus Matthew Bullet Smyth match taking place in London. We're going to see the fallout of Sean Maxer Guinness turning on Matthew Bullet Smyth. I think it could be a case where we book that match for Ireland for next month. We do the singles match, Bullet versus his old partner who's just turned on him. We're back for London. I wanted to show the regional battles. Where's our one? Southern England. So here we are in battles with Rev Pro, Progress and Eve. We're beating Eve. We're losing to Rev Pro and Progress. We can't seem to top this 58. We'll give it a go this time. Just wanted to show that before getting into the show. We got Bea Priestly versus Martina, Dara versus Rampage. Jack Morris in his toughest assignment yet against John McCann. Jack Morris been running through people. Let's see if he can beat the grappler. Main event, Matthew Bullet Smyth versus Rob Leas for the title. Noonan and Frehill versus Chuck Mambo and Morgan Webster. And then some promo time. We're going to Cork, to the PAV, for Rebellion. This camera a little bit. Rebellion, get it? Rebel County. We're invading their territory. Main event, Chainsaw Luke Frehill defends against none other than Jordan Devlin. John McCann and Terry Thatcher will challenge the Tate Estate for the tag titles. We'll get that Matthew Bullet Smyth versus Sean Maxer Guinness match. Myla Grace is coming in to take on Raven Creed. We've got Sammy D versus Carlos Romo. And Shane O'Keefe will take on Keane Noonan. Edward Stewart Tate will be back on the commentary desk with Jetta, with Andy Shepherd, and Shane O'Keefe will be back in the ring. Frankie Vendetta is retired. Shane O'Keefe will be in the ring. King of the Ring. Okay, let's get into the show. Opening promo from Edward Stewart Tate's cuts promo on All Elite Morrow, saying he is sending legal notice about the ownership of LDN, and he expects a response next month from Morrow definitively to work this out once and for all. He won't be moved off commentary like he was last month. He won't be embarrassed in his own promotion. 874 people in the Electric Ballroom in Camden, London. Jack Morris beats John McCann. Massive win for Jack Morris. Long match here for him too. He's been mostly winning 5, 6, 7 minute matches. He beats John McCann, who has a tag title shot tomorrow night. But a huge win for Jack Morris. Dara beats Rampage Brown. Very good match here. 52 rated match. Again, great wrestling, good heat, good win for Dara over Rampage Brown. Again, trying to get him more popular in Southern England. He's usually popular in Ireland now. Shane O'Keefe cuts a promo saying he will destroy Keane Noonan tomorrow night in the Pavilion in Cork City. And he puts Chainsaw Luke Frehill on notice. He says he will be watching their tag title match against Morgan Webster and Chuck Mambo later tonight, which is now Noonan and Frehill beat Mambo and Webster. Excellent match, 58 rating. Morgan Webster was excellent here. Chainsaw was excellent. Chuck Mambo was very good. Keane Noonan was okay. Still building his popularity in England. This tag run will do that the world of good. 17-minute match. Keane Noonan pins Morgan Webster. Defense number 3. Yeah. Bea Priestly beats Martina in another very good match. Decent performances from both. Defense number 4 of the Women's World Heavyweight title. She is on a roll. She's beaten Raven Creed in London. She's beaten Martina in London. Who's going to be the one to step up and face Bea Priestly? And Matthew Bullet Smyth wins the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight title in a 64 rated match. Bullet's popularity in London must have skyrocketed. He's hitting performances in the 60s. This was an insane match, and he beats him quite comfortably in 12 minutes. This is a definitive victory for Matthew Bullet Smyth over the Tate Estate's Rob Leas. And this really puts the Tate Estate on notice, as does Matthew Bullet Smyth after the match with a promo, total babyface promo to end the night. He is the new LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight Champion. He is the face of what is supposedly Edward Stewart Tate's promotion, and he is going to hunt the Tate Estate and destroy the Tate Estate. 64 rating. By far our best London show to date. Matthew Bullet Smyth is getting praised for a great performance. Who else was really good in this card? Who did we say in the tag match? Morgan Webster was excellent. Not really going to keep him around though, are we? So, no, we did him last month. Jack Morris. We did Jack Morris, I think, recently. Did we? No. No. Yeah, financial report. Only lost 700. We cut our workers' costs quite a bit. We did get broadcast revenue this time. I don't know what happened last month. Nearly 2k on merchandise, nearly 7,000 on ticket sales. We did spend 1,000 on the venue because it's in central London, but we did get 874 in attendance, which I think is our biggest to date. So down 777 on the show, but we remain 5,000 in profit in total. Popularity recap, we've gone up in Northern England. Wow, we made a double jump in Southern England. I think this qualifies us for an actual television deal. So we might quite soon start running weekly TV. Now, what I was thinking with the weekly TV to cut down on costs initially would be to maybe tape 4 episodes in one night and then air them out once a week over the course of a month, or maybe tape every 2 episodes every second week. But we'll have a look. We're hugely popular now in Southern England, and again, this will do our sponsorship no harm whatsoever. Massively successful show. New LDN Triple Crown heavyweight champion Matthew Bullet Smyth. Let's fly from London to Cork. Quick update. This is what we were waiting for. Bea Priestly has chosen to relocate and now lives in Ireland. That will save us loads of money flying her over from America. I think if we give Nixon Newell one more match, she'll do the same, and we'll have her booked next month anyway. So, yeah, nice. Also, Chainsaw Luke Frehill has bulked up to £218. And if we look at him, he now has the muscular figure. It's behind my head. He's £218, 6 foot, pure muscle. So, yeah, that's good. 9,000 viewers on last night's show. That looks good. Let's just see if we go to broadcasting, right? View all broadcasters. Search will negotiate. Yes. There's one in particular I'm looking at, and it's not there. I thought once we got to 35 in a region, we would get it. I'll show it. View all broadcasters. Search. No. Eurosport. We do not pass out. Minimum company size. Oh, we have to get to 35 in our home region to get to small. So we have 35 in one region where they run, but we also have to be considered small. If we look here, we are considered tiny in size. If we go to size, to get to small, we need to achieve 35 popularity in your home region of Ireland. So it doesn't count that we got in England. Okay. So once we get to... The reason I want that broadcaster in particular is because it has small... so we currently have on our one tiny coverage. That has small coverage. And it also has small coverage throughout Europe. So that would absolutely supercharge our growth in mainland Europe if we have TV there with small coverage. So that's the reason I want the Eurosport TV deal. We're actually running a pre-show match with Nixon Newell to see if she'll move to Ireland. So, yeah, spending money to fly her in for a pre-show match in the hope that it saves us money in the long run. Let's get into it. Nixon Newell defeats Sky James with a Welsh Destroyer in our pre-show match. Great performance by her, by the way. Sky James only in for the night. Then we get All Elite Morrow responds to Edward Stewart Tate's words. We have 443 in the PAV, by the way. That's good. All Elite Morrow responds to Edward Stewart Tate saying they will meet in London in the ring next month and they will decide the future of LDN wrestling. Raven Creed defeats Myla Grace in 11 minutes in a very good opening match. Shane O'Keefe beats Akeem Noonan by submission with the Manimal Claw. Akeem Noonan wasn't good in this match. Shane O'Keefe was good. Huge win for Shane O'Keefe. Back out of retirement. Technically, I suppose, Frankie's still in retirement, but a massive win from Shane O'Keefe against Akeem Noonan. Then we have Sammy D defeats Carlos Romo by submission. Decent match too. Superb match here, 53 rating. The Tate Estate defeat John McCann and Terry Thatcher when Damien Corvin pins John McCann. That's back-to-back losses for John McCann. Tag title defense number 4 for the Tate Estate. Matthew Bullet Smyth submits Sean Guinness in a tremendous match for the LDN Triple Crown heavyweight title that he won last night. He decided, I'm putting it on the line. They have very good chemistry, these two. Lifted the match. Huge win. He gets revenge for Maxer turning on him in the tag title match last month. After the match, Corvin, May and Maxer attack Matthew Bullet Smyth, but it's Renzo Rose. Renzo Rose is here to save Matthew Bullet Smyth. Renzo doesn't shake Bullet's hand, considering the long and deep history that they have, but he has come to Bullet Smith's rescue here in the PAV in Cork City at Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show's Rebellion. And Chainsaw Luke Frehill, in another excellent match, beats the ace of Irish wrestling with an ankle lock. Jordan Devlin has submitted to Chainsaw Luke Frehill. Who is going to beat Chainsaw Luke Frehill? He is about a year and a half as champion now. He's on defence at number 14. An absolute banger of a match. Jordan Devlin has come in, and Jordan Devlin, the ace of Irish wrestling, can't even beat Chainsaw Luke Frehill. Exceptional match. After the match, it's Shane O'Keefe comes to the ring with a microphone, says, I've beaten your tag team partner. Next month here in Ireland, we're going to Drogheda. It's Chainsaw Luke Frehill versus Shane O'Keefe for the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show World Heavyweight title. Michael May was used too much? Okay. Very good show overall. Address the locker room. Go on there, Shane. We're going to thank Jordan Devlin as well, seeing as, you know, he came in and did the honours for our champion. Excellent show. Last 2,500. We did fly in Nixon Newell for a pre-show match. But, we're hoping that saves us money in the long run. Oh, we didn't get 35 in Ireland. That's disappointing. It's not. We were never going to jump to 2. We jumped 2 in England last night. We're going to 34. One more show in Ireland, and that will allow us, I think, to get that Eurosport TV deal. I'll try and work out the logistics of that then. I think if we do the TV deal, we stop running the LDN shows and basically maybe run TV in London, do 2 tapings a month there. You don't get as many people going to your... You won't get the same numbers for TV shows as you do for events. Well, something to think about. Something to think about. But another successful month for the Wrestling Fan Wrestling. Right, we're in Kent. We're expecting over 1,000 in attendance. Main event, the Damien Corvin versus Matthew Bullet Smyth for the LDN Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship. Women's title is tag partners facing each other. Bea Priestly versus Nixon Newell. KOE, Marcus and Adam King are in to take on Keane Noonan and Luke Frehill for the LDN tag titles. Rob Leas will be facing Carlos Romo, and Jack Morris will certainly have his toughest test to date, taking on the Battle of KK winner and Dara. So Dara's fully back from injury, and we also have the aforementioned Tate Morrow promo. This camera's in a weird position. That's better. Okay, so Tate and Morrow have agreed next month in the main event in a Survivor Series style elimination tag match. It'll be Team Morrow versus Team Tate, the Tate Estate, for the control of LDN. The winner's name will be officially added to the correct contract. Tate and Morrow will not be taking part in the match. They will be selecting their teams. Tate has already in advance announced his team of Damien Corvin, Michael May, the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show tag champions, Nathan Murphy forever, and Sean Maxer Guinness. All Elite Morrow's going to have to go and find a team. Stay tuned. And Dara beats Jack Morris in the opener Decent match, not an exceptional, decent performances. But that's Jack Morris's first loss for the promotion. He cannot beat the Battle of KK winner, Dara. So it's also a huge scalp for Dara, let's be honest. Jack Morris has been on a tear. And Carlos Romo defeats the former LEN Triple Crown heavyweight champion, Rob Leas, by submission in 15 minutes. Excellent win. Noonan and Frehill beat KOE. No surprise there. Keane Noonan picks up the pinfall, defence number 4 of the LDN tag team titles. Bea Priestly beats her tag team partner Nixon Newell. Very good match. Call phone caller. Then we get a Bea Priestly a promo. Over 1,000 in attendance is sick as well. She didn't do well without a script. Other times she has done well without a script. She talks about even beating her tag team partner. There's not a woman on this planet that can beat Bea Priestly at the moment. The microphone is tightening. There's not a woman on this planet who can beat Bea Priestly at the moment. Matthew Bullet Smyth beats Damien Corvin in a very good match. Corvin's popularity isn't as good in England. Need to probably build him up there a little bit before putting him in main events. With a coup de grace in 15 minutes. Defence number 2 of the LDN Triple Crown heavyweight title. Matthew Bullet Smyth says tomorrow night in Drogheda, in the Barbican Centre, Matthew Bullet Smyth and Renzo Rose will take the tag team titles from Damien Corvin and Michael May. He also declares anything to hurt the Tate Estate, he will do. He is offering to be team captain of Team All Elite Morrow. Edward Stewart Tate is apoplectic on commentary. I love that word, apoplectic. In case you haven't noticed, I've used it a million times. Very good. 50 back down to 58. We keep doing 58s here. Okay, address the locker room. Bea Priestly and Dara. Well done, lads. Well done. We made 9,000 in ticket sales. Holy shit. 9,000 in ticket sales. We made a profit of 4,000 on the show. That means in our bank account now, this thing is snowballing. We've got 18,000 in profit after that show. That's insane. 9,000 ticket sales, 2,358 merchandise, broadcast revenue 834 for a total profit of 4,000. Popularity recap: 37 in Southern England, 26 in Scotland, 29 in Northern England. If we progress to 35 tomorrow night in Ireland, then we're going to start, I think, our TV deal for weekly TV with Eurosport. We'll see. It's not guaranteed. Okay, we're just going to get straight into the show. There is one change to the advertised show, but we'll do that during the show. All Elite Morrow cuts a promo inviting people to join Team Morrow under the captainship of Matthew Bullet Smyth for the 4v4 elimination showdown in London next month. Doesn't reveal any other competitors. Raven Creed beats Nixon Newell in quite a banger. 15 minutes. BDE beat the Bosch Bros in another good match. Big Beamish, hanging around the same area. Hopefully these matches will help him improve. Dara beats Sammy D in 15 minutes. Oh no, sorry, it's a draw. Dara draws with Sammy D in 15 minutes following a double countout. This was supposed to be a number one contender match. Fans hated the ending. We're going to have to run this one back. It's supposed to be a number one contender match for the title, but it ends in a double countout. And then we have a four-way: John McCann versus Keane Noonan versus Kingslayer J versus Callum Black. Excellent match. Keane Noonan pins Callum Black with a Stormbreaker. Told him to go out and steal the show. And they've had a very good match. Renzo Rose comes out to tell us that, unfortunately, last week he picked up a severe injury, and when he arrived to the arena tonight, he was told he cannot compete, and he will be out for 8 to 9 months. So that's one of our main storylines nuked. Renzo and Bullet Smyth teaming up to take on the Tate Estate for the tag titles. The match will continue, but it will actually be a 2-on-1. Unfortunately, Renzo Rose is physically unable to compete. He will be out for 8 to 9 months. And Matthew Bullet Smyth ends up losing in a 2v1 handicap match versus the Tate Estate. And he surprisingly runs them close. He was exceptional in this match. But it's a big win for the Tate Estate. Damien Corvin submits Matthew Bullet Smyth in 15 minutes. Big win for the Tate Estate. Big loss for Matthew Bullet Smyth. But he was just in a situation where, what can you do? What can you do? In the main event, Chainsaw Luke Frehill beats Shane O'Keefe by pinfall in 17 minutes with a Western Lariat defense, number 15 of the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show World Heavyweight title. These two guys have a good chemistry. It lifted the match. Chainsaw's performance there up into the 60s. Excellent match, 61. Shane O'Keefe cuts a promo after the match as Chainsaw is leaving with the title. Shane O'Keefe says, Chainsaw, next month, it's 1v1 in a cage. Chainsaw Luke Frehill versus not Shane O'Keefe. Frankie Vendetta. He's bringing Frankie Vendetta back to take on Chainsaw Luke Frehill next month in a cage match. Excellent show. Unfortunately, our tag title picture got nuked. Matthew Bullet Smyth was in a 2v1. Give that man his. And then Keane Noonan was great in that multi-man match. Unfortunately, again, injuries, nuking storylines. Down 2,000 on the show, up 15,000 in total. Took in 4,000 ticket sales, 911 in broadcast revenue, over 1,000 in merchandise. A very good show. Unfortunately, our tag storyline has gotten kind of thrown. I need to think about this because it was going in a very definitive direction with the LDN promotion after that is settled next month. So I'm going to have to change things around a little bit. But we'll see. We're up 35 in Ireland. That moves us to small. So the last thing on today's episode, we're going to look at a TV deal. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about my tag storyline. Might just have to forgo it in lieu of something different. Very frustrating. Very fucking frustrating. Anyway, right. No. So first thing we do is create a TV show. Add new TV show. It'll be the A show. I'll come back to the name later. We're going to tape 4 shows at a time for the first month. We're going to hold it on Fridays to show on... No. Going to hold it on Wednesdays to show on Fridays. Does it matter when we show it? I don't think it does. Say Thursday. We'll go head to head with TNA Impact. Record Wednesdays. Show on Thursdays. Avoid nothing. We'll sort the name later. We'll come up with a little logo. Or we'll just put the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show on there. Or is it... No, this is a different... Does this come from a different folder? We'll sort that later. So... is that alright? A show 1 hour Wednesdays. We're only going to do 1 hour to start. Right, so that's off-air TV. We go to broadcasting. We go to view all broadcasters. We go to search. We'll negotiate. Yes, is Eurosport here? Eurosport is here. We negotiate. New deal for our TV show. They don't want to give us the late evening. Late night. They don't want to give us late night. Graveyard. Can we get 6? No, we don't. We want 3 months to start. We might be able to negotiate a better... We're going to go graveyard. See how much money we can get out of them. Can't get 75%. See what we can get. 67,000 people. Okay, we can get 35% of the revenue generated from the TV show. 3 months, graveyard, unlimited episodes within that 3 months. It'll be one a week. Revenue split would be 35% to the company. Unless exclusive rights, yeah, we're not going to be shown anywhere else. Proposed deal. They have agreed to the deal. Okay. We're on Eurosport. This is going to absolutely supercharge our growth as a company. Now, this could also cost an absolute bomb. So, TV once a month on a Wednesday. Does it tell us which Wednesday? Why not? No? Events and TV. When is our next show? If we go here, we're recording in 2 days' time. So, if we upgrade this, how much is it going to cost us? 1,500 per month, 500 for night of shows. I'm going to do that one yet. We're going to do this one. 2,000 per night of shows. Fuck that. Few rivals. Who are our rivals? We are going to actually have to do this. We won't do that one. We'll do this one. 1,000 fee. 1,500 month. 500 for the night of the show. Fuck it. We're in. Right, so we are going to have to book 4 episodes of TV for Wednesday. That's going to be the first thing we see on the new episode. We're also going to have a monthly event in London, and we're also going to have one in Ireland. After we do the month, I'm going to do the month of TV in England. I might do it in London. I might do it in like the Midlands or Northern England, one of those. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe fuck it, we do it in London. Sell as much tickets as we can, try and reduce the cost of running TV. I think it's going to cost a lot, especially after that upgrade. Look at our finances. We've got money, so we're also expecting to take in like another 7,000 this month on sponsorships. So we should be okay financially, but we don't know what TV is going to cost us. That's why we're only committing to 3 months. But that'll be the start of the next show. For the first month, I think what I'm going to do is bring in 16 wrestlers. Maybe a few more than that, like people to build a couple of the big event matches. We want to build up Chainsaw and Frankie Vendetta. Try and figure out something with the tag division, but we're going to run a TV title tournament with 16 guys, and that's going to kind of be the bulk of the TV. So the first episode of TV will be the first 4 matches, second 4 will be the next 4 matches, then quarterfinals, and then semi-finals and finals. So we're going to kind of keep costs down on workers by just running a major tournament and crowning our first television champion. And then that'll play out on TV over the next 4 weeks. And that will take us up to, can I see the calendar? So 1, 2, no, it's on Thursday. So first one will air here, second one here, third one here, fourth one here. That'll bring us nicely up to our weekend of events that we'll run here. So yeah, we'll always run the TV show directly, the 4 tapings directly after our pay-per-views, and that'll give us a month. Not they're not pay-per-views, but you know what I mean. So we'll move this one back before that. Yeah. We'll work it out. It's going to be complicated. But I am a master booker. My tag division is in shambles. We'll sort that out for next week. Thanks very much, everybody. I've been All Elite Morrow. You've been wonderful viewers. Take care. See you next week.